Captain Kitter's log, stardate 75091.7. The Starship Beer Blues BS is within 15 hours of exiting the Starbase Rio. So, they're going to give you an update and bring you my own real beer review here on special What's on Tap from the Starbase Rio. So, this one is a Firestone Walker Brewing Company beverage. It's called 805. And basically, in this one, it's born in California's Central Coast. It is an ale and 4.7% alcohol per volume. One whole pint of beer right here. 805beer.com. And it is out of Paso Robles, California. And if you take a look right over here, if it'll focus on it, probably won't, but that's the Ball Corporation right there. Again, your Colorado Avalanche home ice sponsor there, the arena. So that's about all the notes that are on this here beer. And this is, like I said in the episode of Triple B, about the closest beer that I could find in the store downstairs. So cheers to you, cheers to Trek, and cheers to being along for this. So it's got a nice aroma with it. A little on the hoppy side, but it'll do. Cotton, a little bit, like I said, on the hoppy side for an ale for me, but it does have a nice amber finish to it. So again, cheers to you and yours for being along for the ride here. Let's go over a couple of the notes. I know I went over some pieces of the old con in the last video, but just wanted to add in a couple little extra things, including, well, this little game. It's called Tribble Troubles. You can download it to your phone or various things there, and it's kind of Trek related, but yet not. PC, consoles, and mobile. So it's got tribbles in it, and then like some cats and other things. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Well, we're on the merch plug from the con. Star Trek Wines, if you're familiar, came out with a brand new wine variant. This one being the Andorian Blue Special Reserve from Star Trek Wines. So you can check that out, StarTrekWines.com. And then there's also an interesting one, Kanar, if you're a Cardassian fan. These two bottles are now for sale at StarTrekWines.com, and you can get those. Yeah, so some pretty neat options there. And then, of course, you have some of the older items, like the Klingon Blood Wine, or perhaps the Sauvignon Blanc Federation Special Reserve. There's also the other, let's go with this one first, the other Special Reserve, which is the Old Vine Zinfandel. And then the Chateau de Picard. Yes, the actual Chateau Picard wine from France is made at that actual vineyard, Chateau Picard, which is very cool. And the whole story on it, StarTrekWines.com, if you want to find out a little bit more info about that. So they have a few special beverages available for purchase there. One other neat thing about coming to the con, if you get into the assigned seating, you get a special commemorative, I guess you could call it a challenge coin. And this year, a quick look at a very unfocusable item there. So we'll send future Howard the photos, then he can throw those in there. But you get this nice little coin, gold colored coin, little challenge coin. All right, other cool things from this year. Technically, last year was Voyager's 25th anniversary, so friends at Fansets did commemorative pins, and they make a lot of awesome pins. So this is the 25th anniversary pin there. It's also the 55th year of Star Trek itself, so they made a 55-year pin. Some other interesting things. It's 25th anniversary of Star Trek First Contact already. So they made this lovely 25th anniversary pin. Really big fan of, if it would actually focus, of course. Really big fan of this one because the Enterprise E is one of my favorite ships in canon. Alright. Some other interesting things this year. About this. It is the USS Defiant. Nice detail on the ship. Also, the USS Voyager. Nice detail on these ships here. And the USS Enterprise. NCC 1701D on that. And there's, of course, many other pins that are available. Specifically, Fansets comes out with a convention pin for the entire con, if you will. And they sell out pretty quick at the con because they've been making them a few years, and they're very detailed, as you can see. Not in focus in the video anyway, but super detailed, and the coloring is awesome. So that's the Picard pin for this year. And then Fansets themselves typically has a get-together at the convention, the con, and then they hand out a limited number of the meetup pins, if you will. And this year was another awesome year with this fancy 2-card set, and it's the 4th annual. And if you look real closely, the King has a mask on because of everything that is going on in the world and stuff. A couple pieces of note include the 7 of 9 pin and the Jadzia Dax pin. So they put a lot of detail in all of their pins, and these are just a few of the pins that they have available, ones that I purchased from their table. So you can check them out, fansets.com, and see all the other pins that they have available because they have quite a few. They also started making, I guess you could almost call them replica badges because they are almost as screen accurate as you can get them. Most of the screen badges, the comm badges, and the other various insignias were typically resin made and then hand painted. So these pins, while they're metal, they're about as close as that you could get with the metal to the original resins. So one of my favorite communicator badges in the Star Trek franchise is the quote-unquote all good things badge, or an alternate future badge, depending on if you're watching it in the finale for The Next Generation, or if you're watching it in alternate future versions of Deep Space Nine or Voyager. So this is a fantastic reproduction. Just the quality of it and the detail in this, and of course it's not glowingly shiny, it's about as accurate as what it should be for screen accuracy, and it's a magnet. Big fan of the magnets versus the pins, because if you're going to use it for, you know, your cosplay, if you wanted to do that, you're not pulling and ripping holes into your material. The new series, which just the other day, the first episode of season 2 premiered. It's Star Trek Lower Decks. They made a replica of that badge, and this one, give a little bit extra because Star Trek Lower Decks is an animated series. So how do you get, you know, shine and print the different colors of this, you know, from an animated series? And they did a fantastic job with this. And again, a magnet on that. And then Star Trek Picard, they have an actual metal badge on the show production. So the Fansets team was able to get, you know, new elements since it's a brand new show and reproduce it in stunning accuracy. And here is the Star Trek Picard badge, which is very, very nice. And again, a magnet, so it doesn't ruin your tunic or whatnot that you want to put it on. A couple other pieces I was able to come across at a vendor. The Red Squadron insignia in a Deep Space Nine episode called The Valiant. If you watch that episode, you can see those cadets who ended up becoming officers of sort on their own ship as all of the actual commissioned officers died. They wear the pin on their collar on the opposite side of where their rank goes. And following in the Deep Space Nine footsteps, came across a cast and crew pin from Deep Space Nine, which very cool to see. And 2 cast and crew pins. This one from Season 6 of The Next Generation and Season 7 of The Next Generation. So as you can see, some very cool to me and other Star Trek nerds. Very, very, very cool. Lots of details. So other than that, shared some information about the Saturday Night Gala, but the Nevada Pops Orchestra again joined the con Saturday night, had a good time, including a musical performance from Anthony Rapp and Issa Barones. Lots and lots of wonderful Star Trek music happening again this year at the con. Let's see, what else can I share about the con? It went by too damn fast. Time is definitely not on my side anyway when I show up at the con, because it just comes and goes. Have too much fun at the con. To me, it's just really interesting to be able to listen to the actors, hear the behind the scenes pieces from ultimately what some can remember as some of the shows now. With the original series, for instance, 55 years ago is when it premiered on television. So a lot of those stories are starting to fade a little bit, and being able to tell these stories again at the conventions and being asked random questions from fans in the audience, kind of helping jog their memories. And you know what, it's really interesting to get to actually see, listen, and understand what they saw, went through, and endured in some cases already back 55 years ago. So another couple awesome pieces with that. Didn't really pick up any interesting other pieces of, shall we say, merch. Basically what you saw here is what I'm able to come across in the Trek world anyway. So do have a couple little pieces heading over via subspace. So we'll see when those transports show up, and I'll have a couple exciting pieces to share with that. I guess now that I think about it, I did get a little piece or prop that is a nice little extra. It's like the cherry on top of cosplay. If you wanted to cosplay the Doctor in Star Trek, one of the favorite things that he would have is his mobile emitter. And for those of you not familiar with the Trek series, the Doctor in Voyager is the emergency medical hologram. And what does that mean? Well, as the USS Voyager went through the rift and it was brought into the Delta Quadrant by the caretaker, the ship endured quite a bit of damage, and there were casualties. And, well, the chief medical officer perished in that transport from the Alpha Quadrant to the Delta Quadrant. So, having these other casualties to treat, the crew activates the emergency medical hologram, who's only supposed to be a temporary solution or replacement, or shall we say, a piece to assist the other main doctors and physicians in treating the crew. So, as it turns out, the Doctor's confined to anywhere with hollow emitters, which basically leaves sickbay and the holodecks. Along the way, Voyager ends up getting pulled back in time to 1996, where some other future technology from the 29th century has been brought back to 1996. They end up, in a roundabout way, getting put on the mission to correct the timeline, more or less, and end up with a piece of 29th century technology, the mobile emitter. That means the Doctor is free to roam about the country. That's a bad Southwest Airlines reference for you there too. But basically, puts the emitter on his shoulder, and the computer transfers his hollow matrix to the mobile emitter, and therefore he can go wherever the rest of the crew goes, on away missions or elsewhere around the ship. And so, able to come across a replica mobile emitter, and able to put that piece as part of my repertoire. So there's that. Not looking forward to going home. I am, because it's always good to be home. But you know what? Never really want the story to end, right? You just kind of want to go on and enjoy experiencing the world. Okay, maybe that's just me, but I enjoy experiencing the world around me and getting to explore a little bit. Earlier today, had a chance to go around the Caesars Forum shops and see what's happening there this year, what's open, what's closed, etc. And then the Miracle Mile shops across the street, same sort of thing. And then took a transport up to Fremont Street and checked out the new Circa Hotel, which has that new casino smell to it. So that was pretty nice. And then Fremont Street, still as interesting as ever. So we'll just leave it at that. And then some all-you-can-eat sushi. Fantastic sushi. So we'll leave it at that for tonight. I am going to sign off for this evening so then I can finish this beverage raw here. Since I don't have Howard on the line to, drink some of this, or I would drink it while he's talking. So I can't really drink and talk at the same time. So, with that, I'm going to sign off from the Rio Starbase, possibly the last time ever coming to you from the Rio, which is kind of bittersweet in itself, but we'll see. Don't believe the zip line's going. Haven't seen anybody, whiz past the old window back here. But if you didn't know, there's a Voodoo zip line. It's on top of the Masquerade Tower and then shoots out to the Ipanema Tower, which is the other tower here at the Rio. The roof is something like 51 stories off the ground. So, you're a couple feet off the ground, and then you get on this little cart and go shooting off at light speed down, and then you get pulled back. So there's that. Anyway, without further ado, thanks for joining me for this entry into Kidder's Captain Log. So on behalf of the crew at Starbase Rio, live long and prosper, and free beer tomorrow. I'll catch you on the next edition of Kidder's Captain's Log. So, computer and log.
UA Productions presents A Glimpse Behind the Curtain.